Okay, so it's been 1 year since we, TechWiser, started reviewing smartphones. This phone right here is the OnePlus Nord.
This is the Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 3, OnePlus Nord C. This is the Poco and Samsung S20 FE 5G. This is the newly launched.
Now this is VIVO X70. You helped us reach a lot of goals this year, so thank you for that. And we wanted to cover our experience of reviewing smartphones for a year and tell you the best smartphone of 2021. Just like there were best smartphones, there were also some worst smartphones in 2021. So for the last time in 2021, no awards, nothing. Just two friends talking to each other. This is Prateek, you're already watching TechWiser, and Merry Christmas everyone. Happy New Year to you and your family. Stay healthy, wealthy and wiser. And you don't care about us. 60% of you that watch this channel don't subscribe. Why? Please subscribe. Help us reach 600k, please. Now, there's no order in the list, but in my opinion, there hasn't been a flagship killer in India now. Funny thing, no one even advertises it now. But for me, the flagship killer has to cover 5 basics: performance, battery, display, camera, and software which is very important in India due to the ads and bloatware situation. I would say the most value for money phone in India has been the S20 FE 5G. Now, for a flagship killer, you don't have to be 9 out of 10 in something. You just have to be 7 out of 10 in everything. So it makes you a well-rounded phone for everyone. You like camera? It's good. You like performance? It's good. You like display? It's good too. So S20 FE 5G has been that good phone. Not the best camera, performance, software money can buy, but good. And S20 FE 5G was that good phone. It sold for a discounted price of 36,990 and some people even bought it for around 34,000. And fun thing, just between you and me, top secret, even you guys bought it a lot. It was the #1 sold affiliate product in our data. My next one on the list would be VIVO X70 Pro or VIVO X70 Pro Plus. I don't have the phone in hand as of now, but whenever we talk about smartphone cameras, we either talk Pixel or iPhone. But the low light performance and even the overall wide angle camera package of the VIVO X70 series was really good. We did a video on best smartphones under 50k. We compared it to OnePlus 9, iPhone 12, and VIVO X70 Pro, even Pro Plus, is the most underrated smartphone camera in this entire smartphone division. Even you guys who bought VIVO X70 phones appreciated it in the SNL. By the way, 9 PM live on every Saturday. See ya. Moving on, more than Samsung and Pixel, the most exciting release of 2021 was Redmi Note 10 series. Like, the Redmi Note 10 series is kind of the benchmark. It decides the benchmark for upcoming budget phones, kind of like trendsetter or the leader in the budget segment. Like, for this video, let's talk Redmi Note 10 Pro. It cost 16,999. It had 120Hz AMOLED display, stereo speakers, 33-watt fast charging, glass back. Like, at this point, everyone was impressed. It's almost 2022 and Redmi Note 10 Pro is still one of the best phones under 20,000, and mind you, 20,000 is a really competitive price. So claps to Xiaomi for that. But having said that, Xiaomi hiked the price of the Redmi Note 10 series multiple times. The phone wasn't available most of the times, and the base variant wasn't available for a long time after the release. Leaving all of that aside, we all can still agree that the Redmi Note 10 series was one of the best releases of 2021. And next up, the one brand of phone which no one saw coming, iQOO 7. Like, still it is one of the best smartphone in most aspects under 30,000. #1, you get Snapdragon 870, which is one of the best processor in 2021. #2, you get a really good display with 1000Hz insane touch sampling rate. #3, camera. Like, iQOO 7 was advertised as a gaming phone, but its camera still beats out phones like Nord 2, Mi 11X, pretty much most of the phones under 30,000. Now, iQOO 7 was released way back in January 2021, and it is still one of the best phones under 30,000. So appreciate that, and looking forward to iQOO 9 in 2022. Next up, I took up the challenge and used an iPhone 13 for about 1 month. Here's the video, by the way. But in that process, I realized the changes done to iPhone 13 series. And iPhone 13 Pro, although costs 1.2 lakh in India, but the 120Hz refresh rate, new camera sensor, 3x telephoto lens, macro camera, is the best iPhone or one of the best flagships of 2021. There, I said it. So until the next iPhone release, if you want to buy the best iPhone, I would recommend iPhone 13 Pro. Or if you want the most value for money iPhone, I would recommend iPhone 12 for 50,000. And the next one was my personal favorite. I loved it. Galaxy Z Flip 3, hands down the most stylish phone of 2021, and not to mention the most affordable foldable in 2021. Galaxy Z Flip 3 still sells for 70,000 minus the card discounts and all of that. And for me, the real foldable is which normal people can afford and use. Like other foldables like Z Fold 3, Moto Razr are way upwards of 1 lakh, which is beyond normal purchasing power. And I'm not saying 70,000 is cheaper, but for a foldable, it's cheap. Also, the cover screen got way better on the Galaxy Z Flip 3. The battery life wasn't that good, but trust me, I would charge the phone twice and still use it. That's how good it was. But I would expect Samsung to work on the battery life on the Galaxy Z Flip 4. That will make it more better and a foldable which anyone can use. Next one is not a phone in itself, but rather a company, Motorola. Now, Motorola used to be known for making phones with stock Android, no ads, but they made bulky phones with LCD screen that were costly. But in the latter part of 2021, with releases like Moto S20 Fusion, Moto S20 Pro, Moto S20, even Moto G31 and Moto G51, they not only had good looking phones with AMOLED, but they actually started having hardware with low prices. That's like beating Realme and Xiaomi at their own game. Motorola has also lots of upcoming launches like Moto X30, Moto S30, G400, etc. in 2022. We'll be looking forward to all of that phones, more stock Android phones, but meanwhile, kudos to Motorola for the comeback. And for the next smartphone, where is it? Oh, it's time for the worst smartphone in 2021. Straight up, you know the brand we all have in mind, OnePlus. The brand had a lot of problems from software bugs in OnePlus 7, 7 Pro, OnePlus 7T, OnePlus 9 and OnePlus 9 Pro, then killing Oxygen OS and shifting to Color OS, then the whole Nord 2 blast. But we'll talk about all of that in some other video. But for now, let's pick the Nord CE. The Nord CE was a really hyped phone, like the cheapest OnePlus phone at 23,000. Even at 23,000, the phone is not optimized, it lacks in day-to-day usage, and the camera is also not up to the mark. If you still want a OnePlus phone, I would suggest Nord 2 is a really better deal, but even Nord 2 had blast issues and OnePlus hasn't come up with an explanation yet. So overall, OnePlus didn't have one of the best years, but let's hope and look forward to a better 2022 for OnePlus. One of the most hyped phones of 2021 was the JioPhone Next. Like, an Indian company was collaborating with Google to build a smartphone for India. Like, I feel proud when that thing happens, but the launch was really disappointing. The phone was priced way high at 6,500 and it was directed towards Indians who cannot afford 4G phone to buy it on EMI. But if you have a look over here, you have to pay 1,999 as a down payment and then you pay 250 for 24 months as EMI, which makes it 6,000 and add a processing fee of 500 rupees, which takes the total to 8,500. And plus, you have to use the Jio SIM for 2 more years. And some people defended it saying it is for people who are buying their first 4G smartphone in 2021. Well, even if it is your first 4G smartphone in 2021, you don't need to make the same mistake which people were making in 2016, 2017. The point being, even if it is your first smartphone, you don't need to buy a bad smartphone in 2021. The clear better option was Redmi 9A for 7 to 7.5K, which offered a much overall better value than the JioPhone Next. Micromax. Now, Micromax launched its first smartphone with lots of enthusiasm. I really liked the offering as well. For that price, the specs were good. Now, the initial batch had a back panel and build quality issues, which is fine. It happens when you are a new company. But I reviewed the phone and the software experience was buggy. Let that aside, to this date, Micromax in Note 1 hasn't received Android 11. To which Micromax promised 2 years of Android updates and security updates. I mean, Android 12 has launched now, and all of that aside, for a couple of smartphones, Micromax used the Indian sentiment and the whole Chini cum sentiment. But then in Micromax in 2B, they went ahead and used Unisoc chip. Now again, there's no problem with using Unisoc chip, but there was no mention of the Indian sentiment or Chini cum. So for the 2 smartphones, it was an Indian company, but for the next release, it's done. So what about people who bought for the entire Indian company sentiment? That's why I tell you, you buy the product, not the company. So think about your wallet before everything else. The point being, Micromax made some huge promises but failed to deliver. But with the current Lava Agni 5G and rumors, I hope and believe Indian companies come ahead and release good phones for you in 2022. And lastly, to end this year 2021, the worst phone or phones of 2021 is all the budget 5G phones. Realme 8 5G, Samsung M42 5G, Redmi Note 11T 5G, Redmi Note 11, Redmi Note 10T 5G. There are a lot of names, but all of them, all the 5G phones are full of compromises. We made an entire video explaining 5G in India and these phones, couple of videos for starters. And as we have been saying all year along, you either buy a good phone or a 5G phone. Now, in order to fulfill the 5G requirements, the phones omitted wide-angle camera, bad displays, 4G carrier aggregation, noise cancellation mic, fast charging and whatnot. It's like we went 3 steps back in order to go 1 step forward. But here's me hoping to get better 5G phones and speedy 5G coverage, although I'll keep my hopes in check for 5G. You will probably get 5G in 2024. Now, I've purposely omitted some phones like Realme X7 Max, Realme GT Neo 2, Realme GT Master Edition, iPhone 12, Pixel 4a, iPhone 11, Mi 11X, Samsung F62, because some of these phones didn't launch in 2021 and most of the phones are the best phones after discount, not on their original launch price. Now, understand this. iPhone 13 is sold for 80,000. Is it a good phone for 80,000? No, but now in the New Year sale, suppose it starts selling for 50,000, then? So the price makes a lot of difference, but that doesn't make it the best phone launched. On that note, that was the list. And I want you guys to let us know your best smartphone of 2021, just one phone. And Happy New Year, bye bye 2021. And from the bottom of my heart, thank you for making us wiser as well. If you like the effort, like the video, this is Pradeep signing off. See you soon. Pew pew.